That's Ghost Leon. You don't hear me yet. What's up, everybody? It's not Ghost Leon, it's regular Leon. What's going on? No, I always put the starting screen on. I like to go for like a minute or so, but I forgot to kill the mic while I was just like sitting here doing my power poses before going live. So we're back. Let's go. Alrighty, folks. Whoa, Crumb Hustler, thank you for the 3 months. Wilson F. Baby, thank you for the 3 months of Jeff Bezos' money. I appreciate y'all being here. Thank you so much. Oh, Karma, thank you for the sub. I appreciate you being here. 5 months. Woo. Man, we're almost at 6 months. For the people that have been here, like triple OG, like original, like I put that post on Reddit and I didn't know what I was doing type thing. Oh, Kayla, thank you for the 5 months as well. Almost at 6 months that we've been together. That's wild to me. That's cool. What's going on, everybody? How you doing? How's tonight? How's the evening or morning or late going for you these days? Telescope Thieves, thank you for the 3 months. Spending that Jeff Bezos bucks. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here. What's going on? Code Daddy, get out of here. Alrighty, folks. Welcome. How are you? I'm doing good. Bob's doing well. I accidentally dropped him yesterday. I'm not gonna lie. I dropped him. He hit the green screen and the cap fell off. I gotta put his beanie back on. But he's doing all right now. He's chilling. He's just sitting over there looking at the door, keeping me safe. Gabby, thank you for the 3 months. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. What's going on, everybody? So the question tonight. Oh, Kat, we're gonna talk about that. We need to talk about that. Imposter syndrome's kicking in this week, but pushing through the doubt. Yeah, this is where it starts. This is where it really starts to hit. That imposter syndrome really takes over. Arrays and objects. It's where it gets a little tricky. There's a lot of things to learn, and so I feel that for sure. And that's actually the question today. The question of the day that I always ask folks to put into chat is, how are arrays, hot or not? I was watching The Office, the Hillary Swank episode. How are arrays, hot or not? Put it in the chat for me, please. Hot or not? I see a couple hots, I see a couple nots. Well, it's about even. All right, it's about even. Hot, not. Okay, a little bit more knots now. All right. Cool. Lukewarm. Hot isn't it? Burp. No, hot isn't that it's good. Like you're good. The arrays are good. They're fetch right now. So hot. It's arrays. It's not a person. We never do that on this stream. It's about arrays. Are you doing good with them? You're not doing good with them? I just wanted to see where folks are at. All right. Welcome. All right, folks. All right, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me know where you're at. We got some good review tonight. We got some good JavaScript array review. Then we're gonna hint at some objects, and you got some homework this weekend. You got a lot of homework this weekend, but we got a lot of stuff to get through. A lot of review, a lot more practice with the arrays. And what we're probably going to do is we're going to get through all the array review, and then we're going to take another pulse check, see where everybody's at. If we're feeling good, we're going to hint at the arrays. If we're not feeling so good, we're probably going to stop. We're going to get some questions, make sure folks can get their questions answered, and then we'll kind of keep pushing. So yeah, a little behind. It's all right. Time to catch up. Not found late. I feel you. No worries. Will we go over the daily challenges during office hours? Yes, we will go over the daily challenges during office hours. So if you've been keeping up with the daily challenges, which you should be, we'll go over them this Saturday. So I'm going to ask for all 5 of the week tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I'll ask you to submit all of them for the week, and then we'll go over them on Saturday. When we would have to submit the form for those live reviews if we want. Hopefully you just respond like today or tomorrow or over this weekend, like latest Sunday. That way I can go through and grab some and have a good mix. So yeah, I would say hopefully like this weekend, like latest this weekend. No, don't brush it up. We want the raw. We don't want polished perfect ones. We need to be able to look at them and feel like what we're missing, what we need, right? What we're gonna add. So don't rush to polish them up to submit. We want it raw. We want to be able to give good advice that then everyone can then use to put into their portfolios, right? No, the portfolio live class is not tonight. So that'll be hopefully next week. Like we'll do an extra day, an extra night where we go through people's portfolios, we go through people's resumes, and I just kind of give advice that I've learned from doing it with hundreds of other students. And so what I would hope is that once we go through a bunch of the portfolios, once we go through a bunch of the resumes, that gives everyone a better idea of what should be in their portfolio, what should be in their resume. And then I'm going to ask that everyone go back and kind of make their portfolios better, make their resumes better. And so, yeah, I don't want polished ones. I want the real stuff that we can look at, say, all right, this is good, this is bad, this is where we could improve, and then everyone can kind of benefit from that knowledge. I sent you my super raw unfinished portfolio. I will take it. There you go. Thank you for doing that. Ooh, okay. You met some of the new Resilient Coders cohort in Boston last night. We got 40 of them. We started with 40 new folks on Tuesday. So we got 40 folks that just joined. Almost all of the videos are up on YouTube. We have 2 that are not in the office hours. They'll be going up later today, if not early tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's been a real busy week, real busy week for me, and that's actually in one of the slides. So we'll get there. Don't worry, we'll get there. Chunky vomit portfolios, I'll take it. Went to the dentist that had no cavities, feeling blessed. All right, yeah, that's a good report. I'll take that. That's good. Cool. All right, let's get into some questions. We already got some questions going. I always like to leave up some questions for folks to get in here with. So let's go ahead and switch to little Leon here. Today's all about arrays. We're going to review arrays, do some more practice with arrays, and then we're going to get into some objects. How am I doing? I'm doing good. This week's been a great week. Been a good week. We got a level 2 hype train. How can I complain? And Izzy with the hydration. Cheers to you. Mansa with the hydration. Cheers to you. Thank you. Bugaboo's hip. You know, they know what's going on. They know what's going on. All right, let's slide in here. We are going to talk about, I'm going to kind of dead the music here for a second. Can I dance for you? That's OnlyFans content. I'll dance all you want on OnlyFans. You got to get that OnlyFans account. Only 1 million channel points and it's yours. Can I dance? Get out of here. All right. OnlyFans. That's what it's for. All the stuff that you want is on OnlyFans. Oh, Reset. Thank you for the posture check. Coming out the gate with it. Hey, Reggie. Thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. Thank you for being here. Alex Ogolaza. There's a Pokemon player that has a very similar name. Is that you, Alex? Alex, are you like really good at Pokemon? All right. Can you recommend a song to dance to during our breaks? It was in the slides last class. Mr. Right Now is my jam. I've played that song on repeat right now. 21 Savage, Mr. Right Now. That's the song. That's the hip. All right. So tonight, talking a little bit more Wonder Devs talk. We're going to go over functions and loops like we normally do. We are going to hit arrays. I see you, Alyssa. Then if we get through arrays and we're feeling good, we'll hint at some objects. If we're not feeling good, we'll spend a little bit more time on arrays, and then it's a little extra homework this weekend. A little bit more. we're starting to turn up the homework a little bit so that we can start moving a little bit faster. And so if there's asterisks next to these two goals, because if we're not feeling too hot, we might slow down, stop, have you start the work so that way you have more time to get to it. But we'll see how we're feeling. We'll see where we're going, and we'll get there. And then the homework is to do a lot of array work. There's a lot of array work I'm going to ask you to do this weekend, and then I'm going to ask you to read ahead. I'm going to ask you to start reading ahead in terms of the things that we're going to be covering in class. Kind of going forward, we were kind of into our 10th week next week. I really want people coming to class prepared, where things aren't the first time you've seen it. So we're not really tackling these ideas super fresh. Not that you understand them, not that we're not going to cover them in detail, but that you've at least given them a thought. You've let the ideas marinate a little bit, right? And so that's what we're going to do. All right. I kind of went through some questions. Thank you for being here. I want to jump right into tonight. And I had to say I need a little bit more time. So there's a lot of big changes I've been planning. A lot of big things. A lot of big things. Big things that I've been planning. Things are going to change. The look. Everything's going to change hopefully next week. But I just had 40 new students join. And so what I thought I had a little bit more time for, I didn't. So merch, we're going to push back to next week. Next week will be the merch drop. I'm sorry. Next week will be the merch drop. And there are a lot of big changes I want to do to Discord. We kind of talked about some stuff last class that's really important to me. And I want to make sure I have the time and energy to like really tackle it and do it well. There's been so many new folks that have reached out on Discord that I want to take the time to be able to go through your DMs and get to you. But I need a little bit more time. Sorry for the bamboozle, right? And so the idea here is next week we're going to get some new pizzazz in the stream. Discord should be a little bit better. We're going to do the merch drop, and we're going to add an extra class. We're going to add the resume and portfolio review class. So we'll be together 4 days in 1 week next week. And then we're going to kind of keep that pace going. I think we're going to be doing 4 days a week. And then as we get a little bit further into the course, we'll be doing 5. So the end goal is that I want to be doing 2 days of streaming for class that you can attend, of course. 1 day a week that's completely open office hours. And then 1 day a week that's kind of like something extra. Something that's going to help you on your development journey, looking at portfolios, looking at resumes, how to interview, like these little bit like accessory skills that you don't have to be live for. I would love to have you here, but you can always catch the VODs on those. And it won't ever be something that we should be covering in class. It's always going to be a little bit extra, right? A little bit extra. And then I want to have at least once a week office hours for touring and Hopper. So we're turning it up a little bit. I'm gonna start asking for a little bit more, and I'm gonna be giving a little bit more. Okay. And so what I want is to make sure that as we kind of move into the second third of program, you feel supported, that you're getting the help that you need, and that we're really pushing certain things that are going to help us stand out when it comes to the job search process. So need a little bit more time, but next week we're going to start turning it up. We're going to start having more things. And so I'm really excited for it. I'm really excited to do the resume and portfolio night. I think it'll be really helpful. I think a lot of you, when you were sharing your portfolios with me, they look good, but there are lots of little things that I would change, or lots of little things that I would ask you to make like notes of. And so we're going to do that together. And then I'm going to ask for them again. And then of course, touring and Hopper will get those kind of like reviews. And then next week, I'll also share how to move from Hamilton into Hopper and touring if you would like. We have some folks, there's some room for folks to kind of move into those other houses. And so we'll be sharing about that as well. Cool. A little bit more time, but we're going to make it happen. Yeah, I got it. I'm taking care of myself. You don't even know how good I've been. I've been real good. I've been sleeping on time. Like what? Going to bed, I have a consistent bedtime for the first time in my life. Waking up every day early. It's still dark out when I'm waking up. I wake up, I get on that Peloton cycle. I cycle my butt off. I'm getting through one of these bad boys a day. I'm going on walks every day. I'm good right now. This is the best it's ever been in a long time. So I credit that to a wonderful, beautiful wife. I credit that to really kind of getting a little bit of a break. Those 2 weeks kind of let me get recharged a little bit, and I credit it to y'all. Y'all are making my day every day. The stuff that you share, the things that you DM me, the things you put out on Twitter. Shout out Sam. Like what? Like that blew my mind. So I'm getting some energy, and I'm going to use that energy to put more into 100 devs, and so we can get the best outcomes for y'all. So I'm ready. Yeah, did you all see Sam's tweet? That blew up, Sam, huh? That blew up for you, didn't it? I knew it blew up for Sam because I had like people reaching out to me. like we had like 40 new people in the Discord. I had like 50 new people following me on Twitter. So I was like, damn, that blew up. I know that blew up for you because if it blew up for me, it blew up for you. So congrats. That's wild. That's amazing. You got those clients. Really proud. Really, really proud. Cool. Yeah, if you look in the celebration channel, you see what I'm talking about. Yeah, celebration channel on Discord. Cool. Let's keep going, folks. Let's move into this. All right. Remember, you're networking. 3 individuals a week that are already in tech, and you're setting up 2 coffee chats. You should use this sheet. Thomp3. Hey, thank you for the sub. Thank you for being here. Spending Jeff Bezos' money. I'll take that. All right, let's go. If you're new here, the way all the subs and bits and all that works is it goes to a donation to the nonprofit I work at during the day, Resilient Coders. Thank you so much. We're about to do another big donation to RC. I'll share that. I'll share that in the Discord as well. So thank you so much for that. We had a hydration. Rezo, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. Thank you so much. All right, you're using this sheet. Tomorrow I'm going to ask for your daily code challenges, and I'm going to ask for the link to your Google Sheet. So I'm going to ask you to turn on sharing for the Google Sheet so that way I can see it and I can see that you're networking, and I'm going to ask for your coding challenges. So tomorrow in Discord, you're going to see me ask for those 2 things. Okay? Like a physically large check, like as in a big amount. I'll share the full amount once the transfer goes through. Hopefully next week with our fun stuff that we'll be doing. I think that'd be a fun thing to reveal. But it's big. It's helpful. Thank you so much, everyone. All the subbing, the bits, I really appreciate it. It's helping really cover a stipend for one of our students, so I appreciate it. All right, remember you're doing coding challenges daily, every day. They should be automatically coming out at 12:01 Eastern time starting tomorrow. And Kat brought up that I think it's really important that we give a little bit more time. I'm thinking like 48 hours and they're due. So you have 48 hours to complete it instead of the 24, just to be kind of respectful of the different time zones. We have folks that are in this chat right now that it's midnight for them. It is midnight for them, and they're going to stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning to learn and to push themselves. So let's be a little bit respectful of that. And so I think they'll come out at 12:01 Eastern time US, just because that makes sense in my head. And then we'll leave it open for 48 hours so that folks can folks can have a chance. If it's a weird time when that comes out, or if it's midnight or something like that, you have enough time to do it. So we'll do 48 hours out. Cool. Midnight cheese, please. Whew. All right. Paid client. Remember your deadline still February 2nd. Pushing hard for that client. Hey, Sarah, thank you for the 6 months. Well, 6-month tier 1 and the gifted sub to Sam. That's awesome. Hey, there you go, Sam. I love it. Thank you so much for the gift. All right. Please don't forget to check in. If you're here, I ask that you check in so that more folks can see the boot camp and hopefully come here and learn for free with us. And so I ask you to check in so that folks can see it on those hashtags, and then folks can come and learn and grow along with us. So please check in. If you haven't already, you can always do exclamation check in chat, and then you can also just click the link that's in the slides right now. Cool. Kind of talked about this already. But in today's materials, like the tweet about the materials today, I asked for folks to volunteer to submit their portfolios and their resumes for review. So if you would like me to look at your portfolio or your resume live, this is going to be live. We're going to do this together live. We're going to nitpick. We're going to look at, we're going to say what you did great, what things you could improve. So if you want to put yourself out there a little bit and get it reviewed live, I think it'd be really fun for us to all see it. We're going to be very kind. We're going to be very supportive, but it should be live, and it's going to be fun for us to kind of like go through all of them and talk through together some things that could be improved or things that you did wonderful. So if you're interested in having your stuff reviewed live, this will be your first chance to have me actually review it, unless you redeem some channel points. And so we'll go ahead and do that live, and then we're going to give some time to kind of get them in. And then of course we'll start kind of doing some more reviews for folks in touring and things like that. So this will be the first time. If you wanted to get a quick look, you can use that Google Forms link and submit it there. Cool. Thank you. This was the weirdest GIF I could find about a resume, so that's why I used it. If fairy's your thing, I'm not calling you weird. I just thought this GIF was pretty funny. All right. Turning it up, folks. Turning it up. Yesterday, the arrays. Ooh, arrays are tricky. If it's your first time dealing with arrays, they're tricky. They can bend your mind a little bit, right? They can bend your mind a little bit. And so we're gonna keep that pressure going. We're gonna spend a lot of time reviewing tonight, more practice problems, making sure we get it. But we're going to have more classes like that. We're going to have more classes where your brain's cooking by the end. We got to start turning up. We got a lot of content we got to get through. We're moving into the second third of programming. We need to kind of put some more of that little bit more oomph behind each class so we can get through more topics. All right. Yeah, listen, there's quite a few folders tonight because there's some stuff that we're not going to get to, but I want you to be able to look ahead at. So there's some stuff that I don't think we're going to hit all the things that are in these slides and folders tonight. I think we'll stop and take questions before that. But over the weekend, I want you to get a head start and look at all the problems, look at the slides, do some more reading. That way, when we come in on Tuesday, everything's not new. Yeah, so that's why there's a little bit more today in those. Thank you for asking, though. Oh boy, chat. Who felt like they kind of hit the bottom last class in the Trough of Sorrow? Who felt like they got there? Who thought they were looking down, but who felt like they got there? Anybody get there last class? Y'all gonna get there. So was it yesterday or a thing? But it's almost all right. Feeling like a little bit. Not yet. Over the break. Okay, almost there. All right. Cool. So we're some of you are feeling that you're there. Some of you are kind of like you're kind of like on the roller coaster. Your hands are up and you're like, I see it. You're starting to see. At first you're on top, but now you see it. And so don't worry. We're gonna get a lot of review tonight. More practice problems, answering your questions, and then we're gonna keep pushing. Ooh, the bottom is when you just decide to stop digging. I like it. You dyed your hair? Is it like a fun color or what'd you do? Making a calculator beat you up. I could feel that. That was toughy. All right. Now, a part of turning it up and a part of the Trough of Sorrow and something that's going to contribute to it is you're going to have a little bit more instances where I'm asking you to do some more work, but not in terms of like fingers on keyboard, well, technically, but more in terms of research and starting to develop the muscle to finding answers and things on your own. So we're going to start to see stuff in class that I asked you to cover in the reading, or that I'm going to ask you to explore on your own. And I expect that you just did it. Right. And so pink, definitely a life crisis hair color. Oh, I need you to be able to start like building this muscle. Here's the thing. People ask me, Leon, do you feel comfortable taking on a client when you don't know how to solve their problem? And my answer is always, Enthusiastically, 100%, absolutely. Because I trust myself as an engineer to be able to find good solutions to problems. And if I can't find it, I can at least break down the problem and get help from others to do it. That's where I want you to be. I want you to feel like any problem that you face, even if you have no idea how to solve it, you've never seen this problem before, you feel confident in your ability to research and find things and to get help, right? You feel that good that about the problem. That's something we need to build. That doesn't happen overnight. That's something you build. So I'm going to start giving you some assignments where it's kind of like, do this, but to do this, you probably had to research that. All right. And these at first are pretty stressful for students because they're like, Leon, it's not direct. You're not giving me the content. I need the content before I can do the thing. Well, that's going to change a little bit. I'm going to ask you to do the research before you do the thing, because that research is going to help you do the thing. So I know it's a little weird, like a weird concept to think through, but the idea is that it won't be necessarily 100% stuff that we've covered in class, but stuff that I'm going to expect you to do some research on, to then be able to do the work, and then we'll reinforce it later. So you'll never just learn it and then not ever see it in class, but we're going to reinforce it down the line. Okay. Client wants me to guarantee higher traffic. That's hard. If they're giving you ad spend, you can always guarantee more traffic if they're giving you money to spend. But just doing web development won't give you like more traffic necessarily. Cool. So just keep that in mind. I just want to throw that out there so that when you see the work that's due today or the homework this day, you kind of understand where my mindset is. And with that being said, let's jump into it, folks. We got some stuff quickly to review, and we're going to get to those arrays. We're going to answer all your questions about arrays, and we're going to keep kind of pushing these ideas. All right. Is W3 School okay to use? I personally don't like using W3 schools. Back in the day, they had a lot of mistakes, and it confused the hell out of a lot of my students, and I still feel salty over it. They have fixed it. They have like updated stuff, but I also feel like they're stealing the W3C's name. So I don't ever send them any traffic. I use the MDN. The MDN by and far the best resource for me, but W3 schools does pop up a lot. Yeah. Personal preference. All right. Programming. Remember, a computer will do what you tell it to do. All right. And the idea here is that if that's true, a program is simply a set of instructions that you write to tell a computer what to do. And if a program is just a set of instructions, well, then programming is the act of writing those instructions in a language that the computer can eventually understand. So right now we're getting into the act of programming. We're starting to write more and more stuff in JavaScript that enables us to communicate ideas, get things done, and ultimately have the computer do the things that we need it to do. I'll just use Leon. Right? So the idea here is that hopefully you're starting to see like the power of JavaScript, or even more than that, the power of programming. Before, a lot of the stuff that we were doing in class, you could have done by hand. But now we're starting with like loops and arrays and some of the harder mathy type questions I've given you. We're starting to see like where computation becomes like effective, right? Like doing things that humans can't do as quickly. And so we're going to keep kind of unleashing that power, right? We're going to keep unleashing that power, and you're going to start to see, oh, okay, this is why programming can be really useful and can do all these things that we want it to do. And so I hope that we get there this and next week, and that you start to see these bigger ideas. What happens if you win bingo? You get a kudos from me. Although we should work on like some type of way of I wish I could give channel points. If I could just give channel points, this would be so easy. I would totally give channel points for bingo. The Balk, I don't know if you ever thought of something or thought of something we could do for bingo, people hitting it. But let me know if you think of something. We can make it work. Maybe like first person to hit bingo gets like a merch or something like that. I'm happy to do that. All right. JavaScript has a specific syntax OnlyFans access. Could you imagine if I did OnlyFans access for bingo? How hardcore people would be taking bingo? All right. JavaScript specific syntax, the spelling, the grammar rules that make up that language. And we have some of the big four we want to review. Variables. Remember, variables are a way of remembering something to use later on. It's a way of storing something into memory that we can use later on. And with JavaScript, we can go ahead and declare variables, assign them values, and do the same thing on one line. If you're new, we're going through this review pretty quickly. These are things that are just here for our spaced repetition. We're trying to make sure that these concepts are fresh in our mind, but we've definitely covered them in more detail in previous classes. All right, conditions are a way for us to check if something is true. And if something is true, then what we do is we go ahead and do what's inside of these curly braces. But if it's not true, we go on to the next thing. So we'll go from the if to the else if. You can have as many else ifs as you want, and you can have an else at the end. You don't need an else, but if you have one, it runs as like a default. If everything else above it was false, then the else automatically runs, right? So we would check to see if this is true. If it's not, we'll go on to the else if. If that's not true, the else would automatically run. Cool. Where's Daddy Yankee? Alrighty. Remember, we always talk about this danger, assignment versus comparison. If you use one equal sign, you're going to wind up doing assignment, like you're creating a variable. And for some reason, that always equals true. Versus if you do 2 or 3 equal signs, right? Those 2 or 3 equal signs is actually comparison, right? You're looking at, is something equal in value and type? So be careful. Always keep that in mind. You can have multiple conditions separated by double ampersand. So if name is Leon and status is Ballin, you get the wink at the camera. So we're checking 2 conditions at the same time. Can have or, right? Where you're looking for one thing or the other. As long as one is true, you do what's inside the curly braces. So in this case, it would be the weekend. Functions, chat. What are functions? Chat. Everyone please in chat put what a function is. What do you think a function is? What is a function? Let's get that going. I see instruction. I see behavior. I see sets of instructions. I see a task, reasonable code, list of instructions. All right. Okay. Okay. Set of instructions, blocks of code. Yeah, you're all right. The idea here is that a function is a simple set of instructions. Functions should be reusable so we can use them over and over again to do the heavy lifting. If we get close to the clean code, they're going to perform one action. We're not really there yet, but we'll get there. And they form the basic building blocks of all of our programs. You're going to look at your program and be like, wow, that's a lot of functions. Cool. Functions have a couple pieces. You have your function declaration, which has a keyword, a name, parameters, which are like your variables inside that function. And then you can call the function and pass in your arguments. Here is an example of a very simple function that we've seen plenty of times. We have a function called yell that has a parameter of word. And here we are calling that function. And when we call it, we pass in the string hello. The string hello falls in the parameter word. And wherever we see word, it's actually that hello. Cool. Quick review tonight, just getting through it, trying to get to our arrays, which is the topic of the evening. We had loops, and we've actually even seen some newer kinds of loops now that we're dealing with arrays. But remember, our loops just help us repeat an action some number of times. The main types of loops in JavaScript are for, while, and do while. But if you were here last class, when we got into arrays, we saw things like for each, map, right? These are other types of loops that we have available to us, but specifically those work with arrays. And each of these different types of loops just really kind of determine the start and end point of your loop. Oh no, it's running ads during the stream. Does that always happen? Interesting. I thought it was just when you joined. Are folks, if you can answer, are you getting folks midstream? Cool. All right. Yeah, I think if you join, you get like 30 seconds of ads. We could stop the joining. Hey, Izzy, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you for that. We could stop the pre-ads if we ran ads during stream, but we're not about that life. So unfortunately, if you join, you see an ad once we're live. Okay, cool. For loop, a loop has your increment or your counter, when you're going to stop, and how much you go up by each time you run the loop. So in this case, this loop would run 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it would try to run 5, but since 5 is less than 5, the loop wouldn't run the last time. Cool. I think the other beautiful thing is that so many folks have gotten gifted subs, right? Thank you everyone that's gifted subs in here. So many people have gifted subs that I think like a large portion of folks have a sub. So even if there were ads, most folks wouldn't see them, which is really wild. Thank you everyone that supports with the gifted subs. Loops. We have while loops. While loops are great for when you don't know when your conditions are going, like when you're going to end or when the loop should stop. A little bit different syntax. You're going to do your increment inside the loop. Cool. All right, so we have our first review. If you are new, we are running what? Pi, come on. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Oh boy. We're not going to be able to test if ads are running at this rate. Everyone's going to be subbed up. We're not going to be able to see if ads are running. Thank you so much for the gifted subs. I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. So if you're new and you want the starter code that we're about to go through, !Discord will take you to our Discord community. Agree to the rules, and then in the follow along materials channel, you'll find all the starter code that we're using. If you're really new and you want to join a free bootcamp, !100 devs into the chat will take you to a page that'll show you everything you need to know about the program, how to get caught up, and how you can start joining us live next week. Or feel free to hang around tonight and have some fun. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first coding challenge, Review in Paradise. So I have some of these open already. Let's take a look at this first one, Review in Paradise. We have some variable review. We have some function review, some conditional review, and some loops review for you to take part in. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 5-minute timer on here. In these 5 minutes, go ahead and try and tackle these questions. And then, of course, we'll go over them. All the new folks, welcome. We're doing a 30-week software engineering bootcamp where you can come and learn how to code for free. My name is Leon. I'm going to put a little bit of music on so the folks that are working get some vibes here. My name is Leon. What I do is I help folks get careers in software engineering. At my day job, I work for a nonprofit called Resilient Coders, where I've helped hundreds of students get jobs. By night, I am distinguished faculty at General Assembly, where I've helped thousands of folks learn how to code. I want you to teach you how to code for free. Come join our community, !Discord and chat. Agree to the rules, and then you can download all the material. This might be a little bit advanced if you haven't ever touched JavaScript before or HTML or CSS. That's okay. !100 devs in chat will teach you everything you need to know about the program and how to get caught up. And you can join us on Discord or live for another class. We've had a lot of new folks over the past couple of days and recently. EJW12, I see you. Thank you for being here. Etheric Light, thank you for being here. Vendor 13, hey, how you doing? Sysnex, EJA24, Ramitech, Darth Var, Pablo, That Noob, Cheyenne, 6631. Hey, thank you all for being here. Hope you're having some fun. Hope you're learning some stuff. Yeah, you can do !check-in. The check-in is for 2 things. It's one, we have 3 different houses that are in the program. We have Turing, Hopper, and Hamilton. Each house has its perks and benefits. If you want to stay in Turing and Hopper, you have to check in. It's the way we do attendance for who's here or not. It also helps us spread so more folks can come and learn for free. Everything will always be free here. I'll never ask for a dime. All the tutorials and everything I put on the internet are also always free. And so you don't have to worry about any of that. So we want more folks to be able to come and join us and not get sucked into paying lots of money they don't have to. Cool. If you have questions about like, hey, what is this thing? Exclamation point 100 devs tell you everything you need to know. All right, folks, we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left. You got this one. Just some review before we get to our arrays. We're going to go over it together as always. This is Review in Paradise. Is Stack Overflow okay to use and a reference for these questions? Absolutely, Neptune. Always feel free to use all the resources at your disposal to answer any question I ever give you. You can have the MDM open. You can have Stack Overflow open. You can be Googling your butt off. All those things are totally valid because that's what you'll do on the job. On the job, you're going to have Google open and you're going to ask Google all your questions. So if you forget something, that's okay. Make sure, though, if you notice that you're kind of leaning on MDN or Google for the same thing over and over again, like if you keep forgetting a specific method or you keep forgetting a certain way of doing something, make sure you add that to your Anki so you can get that into your spaced repetition so you don't forget it. Flatten that forgetting curve so you don't forget things. Ooh, thank you, Alyssa, for the study tips and the learn. Those are the two things we recommend. If you're new to learning to code, it's hard, it's difficult. Tip the odds in your favor by learning how to learn effectively. Alyssa, our wonderful mod, just put the exclamation study tips and the exclamation point learn into chat. Both of those are great starter steps to learning how to learn effectively. The real things that help us learn are not taught in school, unfortunately. I never learned any of these things, and I went to some good schools. And so I hope everyone here has digested those resources because they're really helpful. It's going to change your life, honestly. The learning how to learn and the Ali Abdal videos will change your life when it comes to studying. Rockefeller Nerd, you've vomited a lot. Hey, love it. That's what we're here for. Theric Light, same thing here. Always on the struggle bus. Shells. Ooh, Alyssa with the Dunzo. If you finish, put some done in the chat for me. 13 seconds left. Sorry if you didn't finish. We're going to go over it together. Izzy with the done. Ooh, Pork with the done. Colonel Student with the done. K-Cost with the done. Ooh, people coming in right at the buzzer beater. People are throwing up that half-court shot, making it in right at the buzzer. I love it. All right, come on back, folks. Come on back. We're going to go over these together. Sorry if you missed it. It's all right. We're going to go over them together. Alrighty. First one. I'm going to turn down the music here. Porky threw up a half-court shot and missed. That's all right. We don't make them all. I don't make them all. Let's go over these together. Declare a variable, assign it to your favorite food, and alert the value. All right, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here. You're gonna finally find out what my favorite food is. You didn't know. Maybe you didn't know. Maybe you already know. I don't know. Maybe you paired up with me during one of our icebreaker sessions, and you know what my favorite food is. But let's go ahead and do this. Let fave food equal. Now, before I was vegan, it was Maryland blue crabs. Oh boy, do I love me some crabs. But now, it's pho. I can't say Domino's. I can't say it anymore. I can't. We all know that it's pho. It's pho. It's pho, okay? It's pho, all right? I promise you. It's not. I promise you it's not. This is live. Remember, this is live, all right, folks? This is live. All right. So reassign my favorite food and then alert the value. Let's go ahead and alert fave food. There we go. All right. Wood rice. Wood rice. I still laugh at that one. All right. Declare a variable. Assign it a string. Alert the second character in the string and use your Google foo. This is what we're talking about tonight. Like I said, you got to start doing the research. You're going to start honing your ability to find good answers. And so let's go ahead and declare a variable, and let string equal hello world. Cool. And let's go ahead and capitalize that. Now we want to alert the second character in the string. So let's go ahead and get our alert. And chat, how did you all, oh, I had to reassign it. I'm sorry. I forgot to reassign it. So I declared a variable, reassign it. All right, who cares? I'm going for it, folks. Don't rat me out. Don't rat me out. I'm going for it. There we go. All right, let's put some respect on the name though. Capital D. I went for it. Don't tell anybody. Shh. All right. I declared a string, and I want to alert the second character. I'm already seeing people in chat. How did you get the second character? How did you get the second character? Ooh, I'm seeing some like array notation here. I'm seeing char at, like a method. All right, let's use char at. I like that. So we can do string dot char at, and it would be 1. Char at, just like array, starts counting at 0. And so what this is going to do is it's going to imagine this was an array, and 0 would be H and E would be 1. So if we alert char at 1, it should give us the E. So let's go ahead and save this. Let's make sure this is working. Going to open this in the browser. All right, we got Domino's alerting, and then we got the E alerting. So both of these are working. Forgot about the pictures. Will I get like kicked off? No, it's dudes, right? All right, yeah, I think I'm all right. I gotta be careful with these images. I don't want to get kicked off of Twitch. The Bachelor's too sexy. I don't know if the internets can handle it. All right. Let's go ahead and keep working through this. I've seen worse on here. All right, create a function that takes in 3 numbers, divide the first 2 numbers, and multiply the last. Alert the product, call the function. All right, so we're going to create a function here. We're going to call it divide and multiply. I don't know if you've ever seen that. It's a really cool video of children doing long division to a song, and it's divide, multiply, add, and so bring it on down and bring it on back, divide, multiply. I don't know if you've ever seen it. I'll put it in the Discord. It's one of my favorite videos on the internet of people doing long division. All right, so divide and multiply. Takes in 3 numbers. Let's go ahead and get our parameters going. num1, num2, and num3. And let's go ahead and do the first 2, and we're going to alert it. So let's put this in the alert, and we can do it all just inside the alert. If we didn't feel comfortable, we could create a variable as well. So let's divide the first 2 numbers. So we can do num1 divided by num2, and then we are going to multiply it by the 3rd number, and that should give us the value. And then we're going to call it because it asks us to call it. So let's go ahead and divide and multiply. And we're going to pass in 2, 3, and 4. So what should happen is 2 should go into the num1 bucket. 3 should go into the num2 bucket. And 4 should go into, 2 should go into the num1 bucket. 3 should go into the num2 bucket. And 4 should go into the num3 bucket, right? When we call a function, it's passed into the parameters. The parameters are then going to be used like variables inside this function. All right. This should work. Let's go ahead and save it and make sure that it's running. All right, we got our dominoes. We got our E. And we got our 2.66666666665. How could I make it so that we only show 2 numbers? Chat, can you tell me how to make it only show 2 numbers instead of the kind of run on repeating, of course? We could round it down. I just want 2 numbers. I don't want it to round or anything. I just want 2 decimal places. I want 2 decimal places. Ooh. Ooh. Imran. Got it with 2 fixed. Well done. So yeah, we could wrap this here. And I could do 2 fixed and pass in the number 2. And if I do that, we should get 2 digits here, 2 decimal places. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. 2.67, right? This gives us the last 2. Alrighty. What if I skip the inner parentheses? It should still work, right? Because if we're following PEMDAS, it should do the division first and then the multiplication. Wait, Imran, it's your birthday? What? Happy birthday. Hold on. I got you. Celebrate. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. There you go. Had this queued up. Happy birthday. Happy you're here. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Happy birthday. I was going to leave that queued up. We'll celebrate somebody's birthday. I like it. There we go. Happy birthday. Alrighty. So yeah, this should still work because order operation should do the division first and then the multiplication. All right, let's double check. Let's refresh. Dominoes. E. 2.67. Yeah, same answer. We're doing good. PEMDAS saved us there. Number 1 on the House Touring Code Wars leaderboard. Heck yeah, let's go. Alrighty. Let's do this next one here. Create a function that takes in one number, console log the cube root of that number, call the function. All right. Let's go ahead and create a function called cube root num. And we're gonna pass in a number here, num, and then what did you all do to get the cube root? Now this is one you had to. This is what I'm telling you. Like, use the MDN, look it up. You should have like intuitively known this one. Yeah, we can use that math, right? We're gonna learn what math is when we get to objects, right? We can use that cube root method here. And we can pass in num, and then we are console logging this. So let's go ahead and do our log. All right, there we go. There we go. So when we call this function, we're going to pass in a number, and that number will then be cube rooted. So let's call the function, and we can pass in like 12. There we go. Cool. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Well done. Flexing those Googling skills. I'll take it. Is it okay to do like the shortcuts? Absolutely. Yeah, those are fine. Could we do repetition instead? Oh, yeah, you could. There's like a way to do this. I think, yeah, you could do this recursively even too. Actually, I think if you go to the MDN, MDN, I'm pretty sure they'll give you the like math way to do this or the programmatic way to do it without the method. So I'm pretty sure they give you like the how to do it. Let me check. Do MDN cube root. So this is the Google Foom talking about. Like we just search for it. I always put MDN in my search keywords for HTML, CSS, or JavaScript because I know that it'll show up for me. And then I'm sure if we go down, yep, here we go. So like here's like how you could do it if you didn't have access to the method, which I think is pretty neat. I think that's pretty cool that they show you how to do it as well. So yeah, I love the MDN. The MDN is my favorite resource. I didn't cry. I don't cry that often, but I got pretty close when I heard that the MDN was kind of they laid off that team. They've done so much good for the development community. I was really pissed. Yeah. It's unfortunate. I feel for that team. They put so much like heart and love into those docs that have saved me hundreds of hours across my life. They're updating the MDN. They've announced that they're keeping it going. That's like the best news I've ever heard of. What? I didn't hear that yet. That's so good. Oh, that's so exciting. It's getting a revamp. Cool. Hopefully they brought back the team that's worked on it. So I know that they kind of I thought they let them go, but hell yeah, let's go. All right, let's keep moving here. Conditionals. They're moving it to a new platform. Interesting. Create a function that takes in a month. If it's a summer month, alert, yeah. If another month, alert, boo. All right, this is a pretty easy conditional here. Let's go ahead and create our function. Remember, functions are our sets of instructions, and we're going to call this summer month check. Cool. We're just going to check if it's a summer month. And we're going to take in a month into our parameter here. Cool. And then we're going to have our conditional. We're just going to check. We're just going to say if, right? And we're going to check. But one thing I want to do first is I want to go ahead and do let lowercase month equal month to lower case, right? I just want to make sure that if folks are entering in a month and they use a capital letter or some oddities, that we're bringing it to lowercase so that we can do our conditional a little bit easier, right? And so let's go ahead and now do. I'm just going to call this LC month just to save us some characters here. LC month, and then we're going to go ahead and do LC month equals, and then what are the summer months? June, July, August? No. May, June, July, August? May, June, July, August? Yeah, let's just say that. So we'll say May or LC month equals June or LC month equals July. Cool. And then the last one we're just going to check and say or LC month equals August. Cool. There we go. I feel good about that one. Is it just June, July, August? It's not 4. We're just going to pretend it's May through August. I don't care. We're just going to pretend that that's what it is. It's 3 months. Oh, let's get rid of May then. I just wanted May to be special. All right, let's go ahead and call it June, July, August. I don't have seasons anymore. I used to have to deal with all that in Boston. All right. So now we're going to say if the month is June, July, or August, we're going to alert. Yeah. And else we're going to alert. Boo. And then let's go ahead and call this function summer month check. And let's pass in July. Cool. Let's go ahead and check this. Y'all are funny. And I'm going to refresh real quick. Dominoes, E 2.67. Yeah, because, of course, July is a summer month. Cool. We're rocking and rolling, folks. Getting some good review in here. Hope you're using this practice well. All right. Loops. Create a function that takes in a number. Console log every number from 1 to that number while skipping multiples of 5. Chat, how did you skip a multiple of 5? What did you do to skip that multiple of 5? How'd you skip that multiple of 5? Reptar, I hope to God I got this right. So do I. I hope you got it. I hope you locked it in. Yeah, we did that modulus 5. So let's go ahead and try it out. So let's go ahead and create a function. And we're going to call that skip 5. And we're going to take in a number. Cool. And we're going to go from 1 to that number. So let's go ahead and set up our loop. And inside of our loop, we're going to go ahead and say, let's create a counter here. Let's call let I equal 1. And we're going to say while I is less than or equal to the number that we pass in. And we want to go up by 1. All right. So we're going to have a conditional here. If I mod 5 does not equal 0, so as long as it's not a multiple of 5, we're going to go ahead and log I. Right? So as long as it's not a multiple of 5, we'll print it to the console. Right? So as long as it's not a multiple of 5, we'll log it. So let's go ahead and save this. There are other ways to solve this for sure. Yeah, there are other ways to solve this, but let's try this way. And let's go ahead and open up our browser. Almost had it. Using continue is okay. It's all right. If you got it to work with continue. If you got it to work, that counts, right? Whenever you get something to work, that counts. There are so many ways to solve all these challenges that if you get it to work, that's what counts. That's what I care about, right? Oh, I didn't call it. Thank you. Thank you, Omar. All right, let's go ahead and call our skip 5. And let's just pass in like an easy, like 100. Cool. Let's save all this. Let's go back. Let's open up the inspector, go to our console, and let's go ahead and refresh. We have our alerts that are going to come through. And then we have our console log. And if we look, 1, 2, 3, 4, we skip 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We skip 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We skip 15. So it's working well. And of course, it doesn't console log 100. Pork, do a super long number. No, I'm not trying to crash my computer. Get out of here. Go in an infinite loop and the stream crashes. That's why I don't open all your code while I'm on stream. I'm afraid somebody's going to do that to me one day. I open up all your code in like a special VM so I don't get got. All right. All right, that was some fun ones. We got through some of these. I think these were some good ones to review. A little challenging with the skip 5 here. Let's go ahead. We're at the 1 hour mark. We're at the top of the hour. So as always, I like for us to take a 5-minute break. So let's go ahead. I'm going to put 5 minutes on the clock here. Bring up some music. If you're able, get up, stretch, do what you got to do. Have some fun, drink some water, kiss some babies. Dragonoid, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. 5-minute Animal Crossing break? Hell yeah. That's dope. Got the drink. Thank you, thank you. All right, I'm going to do a little stretch myself. And you know it's not that kind of stream. Subscribe to my OnlyFans with the channel points if you want that kind of content. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah. We have a lot of new folks tonight that are popping through. If you're new and you kind of are interested in what we're doing a free 30-week software engineering bootcamp. You're in the right place if you want to learn how to code. ! 100 devs. In chat, we'll give you all the info you need. User Sod, 2K, Turo Creep, Zam, Lasver, Silky, EJW12. Welcome. Hope you're having some fun, learning some code. Snap, crackle, pop. Reptar, we have another birthday coming up soon. Let's go. Mr. Right Now must be one of the most addicting songs ever. It's a good song. It's got a good hook. I like it. Does our networking week go from one Tuesday to next Tuesday? I'm always going to ask for the connections on Friday. So if you're off this week, I guess that's okay. I'm always going to ask for them on Friday, which I guess is a little weird because we don't meet on Fridays, but that's when I'm going to ask for all of them. Month is the parameter of our function. So if we look, it's the parameter of our function there. Tassie said so. Not exactly beginner, but I love getting a refresh of the fundamentals with a group. Heck yeah, you're in the right spot. Welcome. Make sure you join our Discord so you get all the materials and the stuff that we're going through. It's a good spot. How do you pronounce your name? WMOXAM. How do you say that? Womam? How do you pronounce that so I can say it right? I don't want to, but that you're flexing with that. That's a good one. You're flexing. Definitely join our Discord. Some folks could use those skills. Can you give a class on how to effectively use debug? Yes, it's coming. We're getting there. It's coming. Wham Oxam. Wham Oxam. I like that. Okay. Leon, I got connected to 4 people and 100 devs consecutively on Lunch Club. Oh no. I'm going to reach out to them because I know a lot of folks are using it. I'm going to say, like, is there a way to like avoid folks? And we can maybe figure out how to set that up. Wes. All right, Wes. There we go. How did I check the skip 5 function on console? So you go to your browser, and in pretty much we use Chrome here, so just for learning's sake, you can right click, inspect, and then you have all these things that are kind of hidden to normal users. We click on console, and that's where we're looking at it. If you're kind of newer to code and you want to kind of learn some of these things, our first JavaScript class covers all that. So if you go to !YouTube, our first JavaScript class kind of covers all this stuff. Yeah. Will there be a class to learn about GitHub? Yes. Next week we have our class on GitHub. You need to earn club points to select the type of people you want to meet. It's a lot of work. Interesting. I didn't know that. When we get into higher order functions, yes. As we start to really understand how objects work, we're going to learn about higher order functions. Alrighty, folks. Come on in, come on in. Hope you had a good break. Go for Mitch, 120 squats. I got to join you on these. We got to have like a group exercise for those that are able. All right. Come on back, folks. Let's keep going. All right. I want to get into our arrays review now. So we're going to get into our arrays review. Thank you for getting through the Big 4 review. Thank you for getting through the kind of ones we just went through. So let's come on back. Hope you had a good break. Hope you hydrated. Hope you kissed some babies. Hope you play with the pets. Let's get back into the saddle. Let's keep going. All right. Chat, what are arrays? Put into chat what arrays are for me, please. What are arrays? Yash, that's OnlyFans content. Toast it. Bill Gates Infinite Toasters. Exactly. Our arrays are toasters. I always like to think about arrays as toasters. Think about toaster. It's one entity that can hold many different things. We talked about the different kinds of toasters. I got a normal plebeian 4-slot toaster. I'm not going to hate on my toaster. I like my toaster. Has 4 slots. It can do bagels. It can do bread. I could slip in a toaster strudel here or there, right? But if we went to 50 Cent's house, he's going to have a 50 slot toaster. And if we go to Bill Gates, the miraculous thing about Bill Gates' toaster is that whenever the slots fill up, there's always room for one more. And so we can put all different kinds of stuff in Bill Gates' toaster. Bill Gates' toaster can take bagels. It can take toaster strudels. You can even put Hot Pockets in there. All the works. They have some that go vertical, some that go horizontal. You can do your cheese toasties. Everything fits in Bill Gates' toaster. Whenever there needs an extra slot, boom, an extra slot appears. All right, tuna melts, exactly. All right. So I like to think about arrays as toasters. They're one element that can hold a bunch of other things, right? So let's go ahead and talk about it. An array technically is a data structure used to store and order collections. And the tricky thing is that we call this stuff in the array elements, and we start counting them at 0. Arrays have a lot of methods or like built-in functions to help you manage the order of your elements and to do different stuff to them. And so we're going to review some of those methods tonight. And then your homework is to spend some significant time learning about these methods. You're going to read the MDN. You're going to do Wes Boss's array cardio to like really let them sink in. So there's going to be a lot of stuff you're going to do with these extra methods that give you little bits of functionality when you're dealing with arrays. And that's what a lot of your homework is this weekend, is dealing with those. And then we can create our arrays with something called a constructor, which we're going to see when we get to objects. And we can also create them via something called literal notation. Literal notation is just when we use those square brackets and we literally create an array. All right. If you're new and you need the slides, exclamation point slides gives you the slides. If you want our starter materials, join our Discord, exclamation point Discord, agree to the rules, and there will be all the code you need. All right. Declaring arrays. When you want to create an array, we can use this constructor way, which we'll get to when we get to objects. And the way we've been using in class so far is literal notation. You're literally creating an array with those square brackets. Cool. Yeah, I agree, Sam. Wes Boss's syntax.fm, that podcast, phenomenal. Syntax FM and Shop Talk Show are my two favorite like web development type podcasts. Declaring arrays. You can create an array with multiple elements in it. So here you're seeing that our array can be created and have strings, booleans, numbers, any of the other types that we've learned about so far can go into arrays, even other arrays. Remember, arrays are indexed, meaning if you want to access a certain element out of the array, you can access that element via its index. So we kind of got a little tripped up on this last class. Let's try it again. There's gonna be some tricky ones in here. If I asked you what was LA's index number, or what is the index of LA, what would you give me, chat? What is LA's index? Cool. I got 1. Nice. Okay. So yeah, we got the 1. Nice. If I asked for the first element in the array, what would you give me? I want the first element. Yeah, it's New York. What is New York's index though? What is the index of New York? All right, yeah, it's 0. Okay, cool. We're doing good with this. What is... If I asked for the index of 4 on this array, what would I get back? If I asked for the index of 4, what would I get back? Yeah, I would get undefined. There is no 4th index yet, so there's no element here, which means we would get undefined. Lovely. If I wanted the last element in this array, what would its index be? I want the last element. What's its index? Nice. Yeah, it's 3. Dope. All right, cool. We're doing good here. All right, folks. Remember, elements. So New York is an element. LA is an element. Sydney is an element. London is an element. And those elements are accessed via its index. Cool. Here you can see us actually accessing those elements. So the array here is called new array. I am asking for the array at the index of 0, which gives me zebra. Then I'm asking for the array at index 1, which gives me undefined because it's an empty space, right? Index of 2 gives me true, and index of 3 gives me 21, right? So here we have 4 elements, and we're able to access all of them. Remember, 0th index, first index, second index, third index. The tricky thing is that we start counting at 0. Oh, God damn it. I hate when I do that. My bad, y'all. Oh, we've done so much review. Look at us go. All right, there we go. Alrighty. Now, not only can we access stuff out of the array, we can put stuff into the array, right? So here I have new array 1, and that's going to put string Bob into this array, right? It's going to put... Wait a minute. Hold up. Knox, you haven't been followed this whole time? This whole time you haven't been followed? What? I just saw Knox popped up on the follow stream. I'm calling you out. You've been here. And oh, you unclicked. Okay. All right. I was going to say they don't believe you. I was about to say, all right. If you've been here, you better be followed. You've been here since the beginning. I was about to say, I don't know about that one. We'll see. We'll talk after stream. I just saw the follow notification come through. That was funny. Alrighty. Check the logs. Alrighty. So we can not only get stuff out of an array, but we can put stuff into the array. All right. This is your wait, hold on. Let's slow down. This is your grace period. Oh, Reset. Thank you for the 3 months. Thank you for being here. I'm going to give you all a grace period. There's 300 plus of y'all in here. If you are not followed, but you've been here since the beginning of class, please follow. Knox, come on. Thank you. I appreciate the sub. Thank you. If you've been here and you haven't followed, click that follow button. What are you doing? This is your grace period. I'm going to call you out later on. This is your grace period. Get in here. There's some folks coming in. Oh, you know, I can even turn off the alerts for a second if you feel some type of way. We can I'll turn off the alerts just for a second here. Hold on. All right. Alerts are turned off. They're turned off for the next minute. Go ahead. You can slide in here. No one will know. You can follow. No one will know. Just us. Just me and you. It's your grace period. Get in here. Give me the follow. And while you're at it, you can click the notification bell as well. It's your grace period. Get in here. Oh, there's some people getting in here, man. Ooh. Oh, I didn't get to see your sub. If the 11... No. Don't sub while we have the alerts off. No. All right, I'm turning the notifications back on. The alerts are coming back on. There we go. The alerts should be back on now. If you saw the leprechaun say, yeah, thank you for the 3 months of Prime. Thank you for being here, as always. Reptar, thank you for the 3 months as well. Loyal Leon Gang, hey, I'll take that. Thank you so much. Root beer with the hydration. Cheers to you. Thank you so much. And Sergio Holograms, thank you for the 2 months of Jeff Bezos' bucks as well. Thank you so much. And Orasi, thank you for the 100 bits. All right, y'all got in there. Y'all sneaked in. You're good. All right. All right. So not only can we get stuff out of an array, we can put stuff into the array. Can we get better Twitch emotes enabled? I need some. Yeah, I'm telling you, big things are happening. Big things are coming soon. I'm waiting for the emotes to get approved. We're getting some new ones coming in soon. We got Bob coming. Don't worry. Bob's going to be in the house. We got Bob. We got some other memes from our times together. You're good. We got you. Coming soon. All right. So we can take stuff out of an array, but we can also put stuff into the array using the index. All right. Remember, arrays are indexed, but the interesting thing is that if you want to reassign a whole array, you can do that. So here I have an array of cars. Alyssa, hey, thank you for the gifted sub. Aw, I know I did that. That's nice of you. Thank you so much. Thank you for the gifted sub. I appreciate that. The two arrays here, we have cars and we have nums. Cars has some strings in it. Nums has some nums in it. But what we did here is we said, all right, the cars array is now going to be equal to the nums array. And what winds up happening is we completely override the cars array, and now it's the nums array. Accordionet, hey, thank you for the gifted sub as well. Thank you so much. Ooh, and we hit another hype train. Let's go. Level 2 complete. Whew. Man, we hit these hype chains. I don't think we've ever had a stream without a hype train. Thank you for all the support. If you're new here, all the support goes to the nonprofit I work at during the day. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. And also, just as a big, we said this before, but please don't ever, ever, ever feel any pressure to gift or bits. That's not why we're here. I appreciate the love, but you don't need to. You being here, you checking in, you helping spread the word. That matters. That matters well. So I appreciate it. Thank you for being here. Honduran Coder, hey, thank you for the gifted sub as well. Thank you so much. Can another array be an element in an array? Absolutely. So all the data structures that we've learned so far, strings, booleans, numbers, arrays, they can all go in an array. So you can have an array of arrays. Oh, let's go back to this slide. You could have an array of arrays that gets overridden by another array. Let me say it again. You could have an array of arrays that gets overridden by another array. But why? It happens. I've had to do it before. Shout out Exhibit. How you doing, Exhibit? I think we should at Exhibit next stream when we go live. See what he's up to. Hope he's doing all right. All right. Now the cool thing about arrays is that they have all these methods, but they also have properties. And we don't really know what methods and properties are yet unless you did the objects reading. But the length is actually a property. But it's an array? What? But an array would then if it has a property, then that makes an array an object. And if it's an object, then everything's an object. And we're going to find out that everything are objects in JavaScript. But for now, just know that there's this property on arrays that we can use called length. Surat, thank you for the 100 bits. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Sorry, I think you're number 1 on the all-time leaderboard now. Way to go. Thank you so much for the support. All right. So this lovely length property will actually tell you how many elements are in the array. So it's really handy. You want to know how many things are in the array? You do the length. Alrighty. We have another review to do. So let's go ahead and open up that review code here. We're going to go ahead and it's Paradise After Paradise is the one we're going through right now. So let's go ahead and open that up. In Paradise, After Paradise, we got a JavaScript file here. Create a function that takes in an array. If the first number is less than the last number, alert high. If the first number is greater than the last number, alert by. If they are equal, alert we close in an hour. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's go ahead and put a few minutes on the clock here. 5 minutes on the clock here. go ahead and create this function that takes in an array, is able to build a conditional to check all this. Actually, let's make this 4 minutes. We're going to do 4 minutes just so we can get to reviewing it, looking at how much time we have left. Cool. Go ahead and work on this one. Come on back. Tell me if you're done. If you're new here and you want the code that we just pulled up on screen, !Discord will bring you to our Discord community. Once you agree to all the rules, there's a follow-along materials channel that'll get you everything you need. We're running a 30-week web development bootcamp for free. Glad you're here. The length works. Is the string method that's the same as length? Or do you need to turn it into a string into an array first? Like to use length on a string, it technically works, and we'll find out when we get to objects why it works. Hey, DeFlare, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Glad you're stopping by. Got some other new folks tonight. Jon Snow's in the house. Welcome. Wolfpack done already? What? Well done, well done. Ooh, Hype Train level 2 complete. 8 gifted subs and 200 bits. Thank you so much for the support. PogChamp is still broken in Streamlabs. I guess it doesn't update quick enough. Look at all these folks coming in done. Tassi Said So is done. Zakito's done. Cutter hitting the slides. My whole screen just blurred except for the video. Is that normal? Nah, it shouldn't be normal. We should be crispy these days. NZ with the El Duno. I'll take that. Nice. Blah, done. It's done. It's Noda is done. 2 minutes for the folks that aren't done yet. Now, the folks that finished, did you make sure that you didn't hard code it? Like any size array would work, not just like you passed in one with 3 things and you grabbed the last one. Any size array would work. Did you make sure of that? Cool, just making sure. Cool. Alrighty. If you got an extra minute or so because you finished up, go ahead and get some finger stretches in. Make sure you follow Dr. Levi's advice. Give your nice forearms a little stretch. Give your fingers a little bit of a stretch. Been doing a lot of typing these days. You're gonna do a lot of typing this weekend. Make sure your hands are healthy. If you don't have some water and you're able to, get some water. DeFlare, it's a 30-week boot camp. We meet 3 times a week, about to bump it up to 4. Every Tuesday and Thursday is class. Every Saturday is office hours. If you do ! 100 devs in chat, you'll find out all of it. Everything you need to know about the program. And join our Discord. Woo, got some other folks coming in done. My code might be wrong, but it's done. Heck yeah, we vomited out our code. We like to vomit our code around here. I'm glad you got done. Will we cover testing? Yes, but not until much later. Once we get towards the end of full stack development, we'll introduce testing. I believe in the heart of the cards. Slow vomit. Look at all these duns coming in. Cat done. Pam, CCC done. Topher done. Nice. Wigs coming in with the done. Mitch, think you got it? Dope. Manny with the done. All right. Mayu done. Garrett's done too. Let's go. All right. Done before the clock. Keen. All right. Reptar. The power of God and anime. That's some classic meme-ish there. That's a good one. Alrighty, folks. Come on back. It might be a little chunky. That's all right. Come on back. Let's go ahead and bomb got the done. Nice. All right, let me go ahead and chill the music here for a second. All right, let's go and take a look at this together. Create a function that takes in an array. If the first number is less than the last number, alert high. If the first number is greater than the last number, alert by. If they are equal, alert, we close in an hour. All right, so let's go ahead and do this. Function. We're going to say array open, just because it's going to be an array, and see if it's open or not. And we're going to take in an array. Remember, we could call this whatever you want. You could call this zebra. You could call this dinosaur. In fact, let's do that. Let's call this dino, just so that there's no confusion. You can call this whatever you want. It's just a parameter, right? And then we're going to say, all right, if, we're going to set up our conditional here. If the first number, so if dino, and then we did square brackets, the first one's always going to be 0, right? That's the easy one. If the first one, right, equals the last one. This was the tricky one. Chat, how did you get the last number? What you put in here? What you put in here? Yeah, there you go. Dino dot length minus 1. Remember, length gives us the total number of elements in the array. So let's say there was 4 elements in the array. The first element would be 0. The second would be 1. The third would be 2. And the fourth would be 3. The last element is always off by 1. So that's why, because we start counting at 0, we're always off by 1, right? What is the difference between 2 and 3 equal signs? 2 equal signs is just the value. 3 equal signs is the value and type. So is it a string and or a number? Is it a Boolean? Like you're also looking at the type, not just the value. Ooh, Rudy with the stretch. All right, folks, you know how this goes. It's not that kind of stream. If you want this kind of OnlyFans content, you know what you got to do. Channel points. Ooh, oh yeah. There we go. Thank you for that stretch. That was much needed. I needed that one. Thank you, Rudy. Thank you so much. All right. So we are taking in our array. We're comparing the first number and the last number. If they are not, we're not creating, oh, actually, we're not doing equal, right? We're saying less than. So we're going to do less than. There we go. Sorry. Less than, right? We're going to say, is the first number less than the last number? Because if the first number is less than the last number, we're going to alert high. Can you put in chat how you say your name, please? Thank you for the Twitch Prime. I appreciate that. Rock okay oko. All right, tell me how you say that, because that's a cool name. Rococo. Nice. There we go. I'll take that. Thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Thank you for being here. All right. So we did the less than to see if we alert high. Let's do our else if to see if it is greater than. So we'll just take this right here. Yeet. And we're going to plug it in down here. And we're just going to change our sign. We're going to say greater than. So if the first number is greater than the last number, we're going to alert. Bye. Cool. And then the last one, if it's not less than or greater than, the only other thing it can be is equal. So we will alert. We close in an hour. Cool. There we go. 12th try. All right. There we go. So I think this is a good one. Let's go ahead and call this. Let's pass in an array. And we're going to pass in a nice array here. Let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just for us easy to keep track of. And we should have the alerts go here. So we know 1 is less than 5. So we should see high. Okay. We should see high. So let's go ahead and open this. Hi. Boom. After I forgot I put the images in here. So yeah, we got the high. It's working. Jay, what's up? How you doing? Look at us being cultured. There we go. Anybody watching the new season of The Bachelor? Anybody in on it? Anybody watching it? Newest, I should say. You just no. D Flare, what? Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the prime. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Let's go. All right. Thank you. All right. So we got that one. I think that was a good review. That was a good one. I think we got that. That was good. I saw a lot of folks get done. I love seeing that. Thank you for putting that in chat. Let's keep going. Let's keep rocking here. All right. So where some of our brains started to melt last class was the idea of iteration, or like moving through, right? Like moving through the elements that are in the array. Did you ever watch Are You the One? Of course. Of course. If it's a dating show and it can be perceived by someone as trash, I have watched it. Probably multiple times. I may have blogged about it. Might have some spicy tweets around it. What are you talking about? Have you seen The Circle? Of course. You're like, we don't have to play this game, chat. You're gonna throw them in chat, and I'm just gonna be like, of course, yes, absolutely. And your opinion of me is just gonna keep sinking lower and lower. So let's not play the game. The answer is yes. I have watched them all. 90 Day Fiance, but only on YouTube. And if you're hip, you know what I mean. If you're hip, you know what I mean. Love on the Spectrum, great show. Other like locations of The Bachelor, I have watched. Yes. Love is Blind, of course. We don't have to play this game, chat. You know the answers. Right? You know the answers. All right, let's get back to what caused our brains some pain last class. The idea of iterating through. Now people are just throwing out like really, really like little known dating shows, and I'm just like, yeah, that was a weekend. Yep, absolutely, yep. Guys, people are just getting me distracted. They don't want. This is all just a distraction to not get to iteration. I see you. I see what you're doing. You're just trying to distract me from getting to this iteration. It's not going to work. We're going to talk about iteration. Selling Sunset is a phenomenal show. Anyway, let's keep moving. Let's talk about Pokemon. Get out of here. All right. So here we have an array that has 4 elements in it: green, blue, yellow, black. And what we have here is just a very kind of standard for loop where we are going to iterate from 0 to best colors.length. So less than best colors.length. And this is the trick if you want to iterate through an entire array. Like if you want to iterate through an entire array and you want the array to know when to stop, you can just use that length because that's the total number of elements in the array. So here we're saying go from 0 to 3, right? Because 4, which best colors.length would give us 4, but since we're saying less than 4, we stop at 3. So we go from 0 to 3, which gives us all 4 elements out of that array when we console log them using the index. So this will go from best colors 0 to best colors 1 to best colors 2 to best colors 3, and then we stop. So we get all colors out of this array printed to the console. Y'all funny. Y'all are funny in chat. Y'all are funny. Alrighty. Here is another way of doing the same thing, but it introduces a special kind of loop. A loop that works with arrays called for each. And we also see, for maybe the first time like in class that we've done, we see our arrow functions, which are some newer ES6 syntax for functions. And so what's going to happen is for each is going to run once for each element in the array. So unlike the for loop, you don't need to worry about stopping the loop. It's going to stop when we run out of elements in the array. So each time for each runs, it's actually kind of like, you can think of it as like grabbing a couple things. Each time for each runs, it's going to grab the element. It's going to grab the index of that element. It's actually even going to grab the whole array if you want it, right? And so it's going to go ahead and grab each of those things every time it runs. So the very first time that this runs, it's going to grab green, which will now be X, and it's going to grab I, right? It's going to grab 0, which will now be I, because we're at the 0th index for that first element. And then next time it runs, it's going to grab blue for X, and it's going to grab 1 for the index, or I, right? Then yellow and 2, and black and 3, right? And so the idea here is that we can now print all of those colors to the console exactly like we did with the for loop without needing all that syntax or knowing how to stop the loop. It just works. It's the beauty of using arrays, is that we get some of these methods that enable us to do really beautiful and concise things. Arrow functions, my old worst enemies. All right. Is plus plus or minus minus the only way we can iterate? Could we use other operators? You can use any operator inside of a for loop. Yeah, that's a really good question. You use any operator. You can use the other syntax too, like element equals the other element plus something. So you can do pretty much anything. You can do any type of iteration you want here. Yeah, you could do I like you can do like I equals I times 5, right? You can do whatever you want in here. Cool. Let's keep moving. We saw the iteration, and let's move on to the summer games, folks. We've done In Paradise. We've done In Paradise, After Paradise. Now we're moving into some of the older summer games. Well, not older, I guess, but yeah, summer games. So let's go ahead and open up the summer games folder. And I'm going to close these two just to keep it clean. Main.js. Create a function that takes in an array of numbers. Multiply each number together and alert the product. All right, a couple different ways we could do this. Look at the last two slides if you need some help. And we're going to go ahead and put 4 minutes on the clock here. Create a function that takes an array of numbers, multiply each number together, and alert the product. Couple ways to do this. I get them now, but they broke my brain before. I feel that for sure. Yep. X is the item you're iterating over, and I is the index. Exactly. Let me go ahead and put some music on. Sorry, I didn't put it up there earlier. There we go. There you go, Mitch. Just for you. These are all bachelor photos, Wilson. I can't just say, I gotta say Wilson F, baby. I gotta put some respect on your name. Can't just say Wilson. Wolfpack done already? Blah done? X from the slides, what we were talking about here, the X here is the element, like the green, the blue, the yellow, the black. That's what we're talking about there. Cordionet done. K Murray done. The F is for phenomena. Sam, this is the third or fourth time I have reviewed this concept. It feels easy now. Oh yeah, let's go. It was super scary the first couple of times. Yeah, for sure. Arrays are scary. This is where I feel like a lot of folks kind of give up once they get to arrays. Arrays are objects. I feel like that's like a really hard sticking point for folks. That's why we're doing lots of review, folks. That's why we're doing lots of review. Any way to get my code to mirror the indents of yours? It's just one long string and it's hard to read on a laptop. If you're using Atom, you can go to View and then toggle soft wrap. That's what I do on mine. I just do toggle soft wrap, and it gets it to do the wrapping for you. Do y'all have code snippets set up on my main stuff? I do. I use snippets all the time. Did it with reduce? Yeah. Make sure you have them commit to memory first, though, before you lean into the snippets. Otherwise, you're in an interview and you can't pull it out your butt. So just be careful. Shade Slayer with the done. Karma with the done. All right. It's noted with the done. Abish the Nage. All right. Look at y'all. Look at y'all do. Look at y'all done. I'll take that. Bayesian with the done. Nice. K-Coughs, Dunzo. VS Code has it too, so I'm sure you just gotta find soft wrapping. Neptune, you're having a hard time wrapping a brain around a function with an array. So the function syntax is always going to be the same. The keyword, the name, the parentheses, and the curly braces. The only thing that's different when we're dealing with these arrays is that we're passing in an array as a parameter. So we'll see that in a second. You're just passing in a parameter like normal, and that parameter just so happens to be an array. What's the Josh done? All right. 700 days. Rossi, Diego, Brian. Woo. Cheese, please. Luck Monkey done. Emma B. All right. Done chunky style. I'll take that. That's nice. Kenny Ferris, you're lost. That's all right. We're going to keep reviewing. Come to office hours. We're going to get more reviewing. Ask questions, please. Ask questions on Discord. Ask questions here in chat. All right. Come on back. Bobby Lynn with the done. All right. See you. Memphis done. All right. Come on back, folks. Come on back. Let's go over this together. Let me produce the music here. Done, but it's vomit AF. I will take all the vomit. We're good. I like it. Give it to me. Chunky and all. All right. All the new people are like, what the heck is he talking about? We say vomit. We just want to get it working. We want to get it out there. We don't care if it looks good. We don't look if it's pretty. We just want it out there and as close to done as possible. That's our vomit. Don't let perfection get in your way of getting some good code done. All right. Create a function that takes in an array of numbers. Let's do that first. I'm going to call this multi-array. And I'm going to set up the call first, just because I wanted to show we're just calling the function, but we're going to pass in an array. And so we're going to pass in an array of, let's do 5 numbers. So it's just a normal function call. We're passing in an array. And so I'm just going to call this parameter R, just short for array. That's all it is. We could have put dinosaur in here. We could have put zebra. We could have put anything inside of the name for the parameter. It's just since we know we're going to be dealing with an array, I'm going to call it R. All right. Create a function that takes an array of numbers. Multiply each number together and alert the product. Now, there's a couple ways to do this. If you're a little bit more advanced, you might know something called reduce, which does this for you. We're not there yet. If you haven't learned reduce yet, don't stress about using it. But right now, we saw some way last class to do it. Multiply each number together and alert the product. So last time we did it, we just set up a variable called product. I said production. Let product, we're just going to say 1 for now. We don't want to do 0 because then we're multiplying by 0. So we just set product as 1. And then what we can do here is we can just go through the array, right? We can go through the array. Or sorry, why am I putting outside? We did the product before. So let's go ahead and put the product in here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to loop through this array and multiply each number to the product. So we can go ahead and do array. We can do a for loop, or we could do for each. Right? We could do a for each if we wanted to. And what we could do inside of this for each is we could do product, and then we could do our shorthand here, times equal item. Right? So what it's going to do is it's going to take each item, each number out of the array, and multiply it by the product, and our product's going to keep going up. Okay? That's one way we could do it. One way we could do it, right? Mehdi, why don't you need to declare the array first, either the function or before it? Because we are passing the array in as an argument. So we're passing that array in as an argument. That array that gets passed in as an argument, right, falls into our parameter of R. So anywhere that we see R is actually our array, right? So this is the shorthand that we learned last class of the for each. Let's also do a for loop just so we can see both ways. Cool. So I'm going to comment that out. Remember, command / or control / to comment it out. And let's do a for loop as well, just for funsies here. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my loop. I'm going to say let I equal 0, because remember, our arrays start counting at the 0th index. And we're going to say while I is less than or equal to array.length. We want to run this once for each item that's in our array. The beautiful thing about arrays is that they come with a length property, and we can use that length property, right? We can use that length property, right, to figure out how many elements are in the array. And once we know how many elements are in the array, we can just iterate until we hit that number. Cool. And each time we do it, we're going to go up by 1. Our count's going to go up by 1. And then all we have to do is the same thing we have up top, is we're going to do our product equals our product times, right, the array, and then whatever the index is right there is I. So what we're saying is, hey, whatever the product is, you're going to multiply the current value. So the way this is going to work, let's run through this whole thing, right? Let's run through this whole thing so we can see how all the pieces work. What we're doing is we have a function here. And remember, functions only run when you call them, like when you tell them to run. So here is our function call. We are telling this function to run, and we are passing in this lovely array as our argument. Remember, when you call a function, you pass in arguments. This argument is being passed into our function. So wherever we see R, it's actually that array. First thing we do is set up our product just so that we can multiply into it. And then we have a loop. We set up our loop counter of I. So this is just going to keep track of how many iterations. How many times does this loop run? Right? How many times does this loop run? Right? We're going to run it as many times as there are elements in the array. Right? So this array has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 elements. So array.length would give us 5. But since we start counting at 0, we're going to say go up while it's still less than 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. We won't ever hit 5 because that would be 1 too many. Remember, we started counting at 0, so we're going to go up until we're no longer at that number. All right? And then the last thing we do is we make sure we go up by 1 each time. All right? Now, every single time we iterate, what we are doing is we are taking whatever the current product is and multiplying it by the current value of the array. So the very first time this runs, it'll be array 0, and that'll be 1 times 1. The next time this runs, it'll be array 1, which is 2. So it'll be 2 times 1, right? Then the third time this runs, the index will be 2, and that'll grab us 3. Then we'll do 3 times 2 is 6, right? And we'll keep going up as we move through the array. So remember, we're swapping this I for the numbers, right? We're doing the numbers. Now, if you just ran the code as it sits, I see some folks saying this in chat, you're not going to see anything. You haven't alerted, console logged, or returned the value. So what you might want to do, if you just want to see it quickly, is do a log and log the product. All right, now you'll be able to see what's happening. Now let's see what's happening here. Let's see what weird things we get into. Let's see if anything happens here. Let's save this. I didn't open it in the browser. Let me go ahead and grab the index here. Open it in the browser. Open up the inspector. Go to our console. We get 120. All right, we get 120. So we see that the multiplication has worked. We have a lovely Summer Games photo here, the Bachelor Summer Games. All right. And I'm feeling a first try on that one. First try. Winter 10th try. All right. Questions about this one. This one's tricky. I think if you can get your head around what's happening here, it might be a good place to be. So questions. I don't know what stadium it is, Josh. In JavaScript, do you need to use semicolon at the end of each line? No. And you can do exclamation point semicolon in chat to read a really good article about it. Oh, it did say alert, Pork. It did say alert. Let's alert it. Sorry. My bad. There we go. Alert. So the second try. I can go back over for each. Yeah. Want to make sure. Are there any? So go over for each. I could definitely do that. Any other questions about this? Not worried about Big O yet, Jay. Not yet. Not yet. Does the R have to be inside the function parameter, aka inside the parentheses? Yes. So the way functions work is that if you want to pass something into them, right? If you want to pass something into them, you call your function, you pass in the value, and that value goes into whatever parameter you have there. So we could have called this zebra, we could have called it dinosaur, but since we know we're going to be dealing with arrays, we called it R. Now R, anywhere inside that function is going to be representing that array, right? Be representing that array. Yeah, you should be using let and const these days. There are some scenarios where you might want to use var. You can do exclamation point var to have a handy dandy article about var as well. BK Art, you're working on a project right now where you're doing this very thing. That's awesome. There you go. Alrighty. So let's go ahead and talk about the for each just because somebody asked. So I'm going to comment out this value here. And remember, all the code is shared after class on Discord. So if there's anything that you weren't able to see or you want to take a deeper look at it, you can always just grab the code on Discord right after class. So let's go ahead and save this. And for each, remember, is just another type of loop. And the loop works specifically with arrays. So we know about our for, our whiles, our do whiles, but when it comes to arrays, we also get some other loops. We get things like for each, map, reduce, filter, like even these things that have the ability to loop, right? We get them with our arrays. Ryan, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. That's a good one. And so with our arrays, we get these lovely other loops called for each. And what for each does is when it runs, it grabs a few things each time it runs. And it runs once for every element in the array. So if you look at our line 15, we have 5 elements in this array. The for each is going to run 5 times, which is pretty cool because you don't need to start to set an end. You don't need to set an end like we do with our for loop. It just knows how to stop, right? It just knows how to stop. This just knows how to stop. It just knows how to stop. And each time it runs, it's going to grab the element out of the array and the index that element has. And it's going to move through the entire array, grabbing the element and the index out until there's no more, and then it stops. And so what we have set up here is a parameter called item and a parameter called I, short for index here. And what this is going to enable us to do is that each time this runs, we can then use that item, or we can also use the index. And that's what I did. I just used the item to grab our 1, our 2, our 3, our 4, our 5, and multiply it by the product. So it's just a slightly different syntax to do the same thing that we did with our for loop. That's a little bit cleaner, can make it a little bit more eloquent code in certain scenarios. And before we start worrying about things called runtime complexity and all those scary things, it can be really fun to use. Mayu, exactly. All right, Neptune, welcome. Welcome back. Will, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. Thank you. Thank you, Alyssa, for posting the MDN article. Definitely useful. Yeah, just we're just at the tip of the iceberg here. Well, I would say we know the basics. We know the big four. We know what we got to do. So we're in a good spot. We're in a good spot with JavaScript. Is there a lot more to learn? Yes, but we're doing good. We got some of the big things down. Last big thing is objects, and then we're really cruising. Cool. All right. Yeah, it's top of the hour. We're at a good stopping point. So let's go ahead and take a lovely 5-minute break. So I'm going to put that break up here on the clock. 5 minutes. We're going to get into some new material tonight, and then we're probably going to finish a little early so you can get a jump on this homework. So come back, come ready to be strong. If you're able to, get up, please. Do a little bit of stretch, grab some water, hydrate, say hello to the loved ones, and we'll be back here in 5 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and put some music on for you. Getting scared? No reason to be scared. We'll get plenty of reviewing. Hey, Osiris. Quick hi. Hey, I'll take that. Hey, how you doing? Hope your day's going well too. Will we cover how to import API, like how to use APIs? Yeah, we're going to import. Yeah, we'll go over that for sure. And then APIs we're going to get to. The APIs are in this slide deck right now, but we're not going to get to them tonight. But you're going to read ahead about them for next class. Yeah, think of them as a placeholder. It's a good idea. Ooh, crispy rolls? Nice. The for each should work, but we didn't alert the product. So we wouldn't see anything until we let it run. I love me some fun questions during break. Leon just started coding React with the startup. Oh, that's right. React is weird. Yeah, it could be a little odd when you first start out. Let me know if you need some help though. Do you do any D&D? I love D&D. I used to DM a couple games. I'm too busy to DM right now, but I like DMing like beginner games, like where folks are new. So I've ran a couple Lost Mines campaigns. Yeah. I started getting into PHP this week so I can build custom WordPress themes. It's so easy to pick up after learning JavaScript basics. Exactly. Once you learn one language, it kind of rolls over into others. How does for each loop know that the product variable exists? Isn't product outside of its scope? Shouldn't it be? It's still blocked within the function. Have you heard of the Foundry editor thing? No, I haven't. Go ahead and share it on Discord. Let's roll some dice. That'd be fun. I'd be down to do some like D&D with the community. We could have a bunch of like people from the community, and we just like DM a short run. That'd be funny. 100 devs D&D. Heck yeah, that'd be fun. Yeah. Osiris, when you find a good group, that's it. That's the goal. Twitch D&D goal? Yeah, that'd be a good one. That like a community goal, that'd be fun. I would totally run a session if it was a community goal. Let's see if we can do that. We can do like a one shot though, like a one day, I have a Pokemon one shot that I've been working on. That'd be a fun one to do. Bobby Lynn, hey, thank you for the sub. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for doing that. Goddess, hey, thank you for that. That's kind of you to say. Thank you so much. I am in, yes. 100 players, that campaign would so we could have like maybe like I don't really like running larger groups. Maybe we could have like 4 real people, and then Twitch chat is like the 5th person, and so Twitch has to like roll and make decisions. That'd be funny. So like we could have like maybe like 4 or 5 like real folks from 100 devs, and then chat's the other person. Yeah, that'd be fun. Haven't played either, but you always wanted to. It's fun. You get there's some good Reddit communities for finding groups to play with. Yeah. So if you hit me up on Discord, I'll share that subreddit where you can find groups to play with. So if you're down to run something too, that'd be fun. I would like to play. That'd be cool. D&D we're talking about. Cool. Thank you, Jay. I'll take a look at it. Alrighty, folks. Come on back. Come on back. We got some fun stuff to get into. We're gonna start diving into these array methods. So come on back. Hope you grab some water. Hope you're hydrated. Hope you got some stretching in. Hope your fingers are loose and you're ready to go. All right, let's keep pushing with these slides. We just coded the summer games, and we're going to talk about some other array methods. I'm going to chill the music here. All right. So we saw for each, that's an array method, like a function built in that helps us with arrays. There are some other really good built-in methods that make our lives fun. A little bit easier, but fun. You get to do some really cool, creative things when you know your methods. So, I don't want my fingers loose. I need them. So here we go. Here's an array. We have an array called Best Rappers 2020. We have 6ix9ine in there, Polo G, and 6ix9ine at the end. What we want to be able to do is we want to be able to remove 6ix9ine. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create another variable called removed. And if we do Best Rappers 2020.shift, 2 things happen. 1, this value gets removed from the array, right? It gets removed from the array. And since we removed it from an array at the same time as doing a variable assignment, removed now holds the value 6ix9ine. But if we console log the array, you can see that the first 6ix9ine is removed, Polo G, and the ending 6ix9ine is left. So what Shift is able to do is Shift is able to remove the value from the front of the array. And so if you just do Best Rappers 2020.shift, it would remove 6ix9ine and it would poof into thin air and you would never see it again. The reason why I'm able to capture it though is I did that at the same time as doing my assignment. So if I console logged removed, I would see 6ix9ine. Right? So Shift can remove any value out of the front of the array, right? So you can shift it off the front of the array. On the other end, we have pop, right? So here our array is left with just Polo G and 6ix9ine. But when we do pop.pop, what it's going to do is it's going to remove 6ix9ine from the array, right? And if we were to console log Best Rappers 2020, we're left with just Polo G again, right? Stout, yeah, gotcha. So shift from the front, pop from the end. We got rid of both 6ix9ines. We're left with just Polo G. Reptar, you could. In fact, that's going to be one of the questions tonight. It's going to be a practice problem similar to what you're thinking through. So yeah. Telescope, I see you. All right. So we've done a shift to get off the first 6ix9ine. We've done a pop to get off the other, right? But we can also put stuff on. So we can shift off, pop off, and then unshift puts back onto the front. So here you can see I have unshifted Dylon. So actually, I shouldn't have this here. Imagine this isn't here. Don't pay attention to that. Get rid of that. Oop, that was a mistake. So here I have unshifted Dylon, right? So now, Best Rappers 2020 was just Polo G, and now I have unshifted Dylon onto the front. So if we console log Best Rappers 2020, we got Dylon and Polo G. Okay? Now, Jono, tuck your chain, Jono. Tuck your chain. All right. Now, we're up to a point where we have shifted off 6-9, popped off 6-9, unshifted Dylon, and now what we're going to do is we're going to do the other end as well. We are going to push Dylon onto the end. So we have shifted, popped, which got rid of stuff, unshifted, push stuff onto the front, and push, put stuff onto the end. So if we were to console log Best Rappers 2020, we have Dylon, Polo G, Dylon. All right. Now, if we look at another method, so I'm just trying to show you all the methods here, right? All right. I just want to show you all the methods here, some cool ones. So as it stands, we have shifted off 6-9. We have popped off 6-9. We have unshifted Dylon, and we have pushed Dylon. So our array stands at Dylon, Polo G, Dylon, right? Something cool can happen here is that we can use something called map. Map is kind of similar to for each, except what map does is it creates a new array. So the result of mapping is to create a new array. And so here you can see I've created a new variable called Best Rappers All Time. And what I have done is I have used map, which will give me a new array. And what I have done is I said that all of the items should now be Dylon. So for each item that's in my array, JVM29, hey, thank you for the prime. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much. For each item in my array, I am going to return Dylon. So since there are 1, 2, 3 items in my array, Best Rappers of All Time now has Dylon, Dylon, Dylon. Okay? Map creates a new array. So Best Rappers of All Time is now an array. Since there were 3 items in the original array, map's going to run 3 times. And each slot in the array is now going to be Dylon. So right now, Best Rappers of All Time is Dylon, Dylon, Dylon. But we're still missing some stuff. We're going to unshift a Dylon onto the front. We're going to push a Dylon onto the end. And then we wind up, if we console log the Best Rappers of All Time, we get Dylon, 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 and Dylon. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because he spits the hot fire. Of course. Of course, because he spits the hot fire. If you don't know who Dylon is, he's the best rapper of all time. That's all you need to know. Best rapper of all time. So. It's a Chappelle Show joke. So if you're like really lost, that's what it is. So we did a lot of stuff here. There are a lot of methods here. We saw a lot of methods that do a lot of heavy lifting. We saw shift and pop getting rid of elements off of the front and the end of the array. We saw unshift and push putting elements onto the front and end of the array. We saw a new method called map. That's a loop that runs once for each element and returns a new array. And then we unshifted and pushed stuff back on to wind up with the best rappers of all time. Dylon, 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 Dylon. I got you. I got you, Neptune. All right. I'm gonna dream about Dylon after this. Alrighty, so let's put this into practice a little bit. Let's go ahead and open up the winter games. So let's go ahead and open up the winter games. So array methods tell you which wrappers are the best. I got it. Let's go ahead and open up winter games together. I'm going to go ahead and close this here, and I'm going to open up winter games. All right. Create a function that takes in an array of numbers. Return a new array. Return a new array containing every even number from the original array. I want you to try this without map, though. You can try it with map and without map, right? So try not using map first, right? Try without map first, and then maybe try it with map after. Okay? So you can try both ways. Whatever you feel comfortable with, you do it that way. We'll go over both. All right? So I'm going to go ahead and put 5 minutes on the clock. This is a tricky one. You're going to have to do some thinking here, some hard thinking here. Kev, hey. Kev, thank you for the sub. Thank you for being here. 2 months. Thank you so much. All right. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one. Take 5 minutes. Think through it. Look at the past slides. Look at how we did things. Think about, wait, if I wanted a new array, I wanted to put stuff into an array. How could I do that? Think through it. Take some time. I'll put some music on here for you. Remember, if you want the slides to move on your own, you gotta get rid of the live. If you keep the live there, they're only gonna move when I move them for you. All right. Cody, all of the classes will be on YouTube. So it normally takes me a day or two to get them on there because of the Twitch affiliate agreement. But they should all be up there by tomorrow morning. They'll be up there for you. Slides are not working. What? Maybe slides.com is down. I'll put the PDF in our chat after class. I'll put the PDF on Discord after class. So we don't have that many more slides to go through anyway. So don't worry, we'll go through them after class. I'll put the PDF on there. Yeah, it seems to be working for some folks, but not for others. Yeah, slides.com might have eaten it a little bit. So I'm glad we got through it. I'm glad we got through lecture. Yeah, take the /live off maybe. There you go. Home Alone 2. Take off the. That's a dope username, by the way. Home Alone 2. At the end of the course, are we having any class on how to host a website? Absolutely. I really like netlify.com/drop. It's super easy. You just drag your folder and you're hosted. That's it. Takes 2 seconds, so I would try that out, Cody. netlify.com/drop. Super easy. But when we get to full stack web development, we're going to host our stuff some other places as well. Oh, we got some folks coming in done. Oh, we got a first try. I'll take that. Nice. Is he with the first try too? do we do the Docker? We won't use Docker in this course, but I'll definitely give some reading on it because certain teams will use it for sure. But yeah, we won't touch it too much here. I never lie. Gonna try map now. Okay, cool. Got about 2 minutes left, folks. 2 minutes and some change. Dig deep. You got it. Don't worry. Dig deep. 2 minutes left. Give it a good old try. Look at the slides if you can. Unfortunately, it looks like they might be down a little bit. Try and get some inspiration if you're kind of stuck and don't know where to go. That'll be a good place to start. And then we got about 1:52 left. And then we're going to go over it together. We got a little bit more left. And then, as always, we'll end with a lovely raid. Send some love to some of our friends. So, 1:30 left. Keep going. You got this. Oh, Osiris, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. Thank you so much. Whew. Alrighty. Minute left. Look at all these folks coming in done. I'll take that. Panda's pajamas? Heck yeah. Sheenan with the done? Alright. Telescope Thieves done. The beat is linked on YouTube. Every YouTube video has the sound that we're jamming to. Knock sometime this year. Should the map and the for each be the same? You can get the same result depending on how you use them. Topher with the Dunsky. Cool. 7 seconds left. Coming on the beater. Buzzer beater. Who got it? Buzzer beater. Come on in. Come on in. All right. Come on back. Come on back. Gave you a little extra room there. A little extra room there. Give you a little extra room there. All right. Let's chill the music here. Thank you, Alyssa. I'll take a look at that. Couldn't get it. All right, we're gonna go over it right now. All right, create a function that takes in an array of numbers. All right, return a new array containing every even number from the original array. And we're going to try to do it without map first. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Let's go ahead and create a function. And we're going to call this new array even, because we're just going to have the even numbers. All right, it's going to have the even numbers here. And we're going to call it, we're going to pass in a function. We're going to pass in an array. So let's just call it new array even. And we're going to pass in an array. Let's do our just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool. And we want to return a new array. So if we're going to return a new array, let's create a new array. New array equals, and we'll use, what type of notation is this? Chat. What type of notation is this? Yeah, literal notation. All right. So now what we want to do is we want to loop through our array. We're going to loop through our array. So let's go ahead and grab the array. Remember, we set up the parameter that's going to accept the array, right? Parameter is going to accept the array. And what we're going to do is let's go ahead and loop through that array. So we're going to do array for each. And what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, if the item, right? If the item mod 2 equals 0. So basically we're checking to see if it's even. If it's if it's even, let's push it to our new array. There we go. Right? Return a new array containing every even number. So we passed in an array, right? We created a new array. And what we're doing is we're looping through the array that was passed in. And if the value is even, we push it to our new array. And then the last thing we just have to do is return new array. Don't worry, we're gonna break this down. Let's make sure it works first. Remember, if it's just returning, we won't see it. So I'm going to wrap this in a log for myself here. I'm going to wrap this in a console log. Whoop, whoop. There we go. All right, I'm going to wrap this in a console log. Let's go ahead and open this in the browser. Wrong browser. Whoops. Let's go over here. This is the browser that we're looking for. Boom. All right. So let's go ahead and open it up in the inspector. Let's take a look at the console. And we have a new array, and that array only has the even values. All right, only has the even values. You can see that it only has 2 and 4 inside of it. So let's go back and take a look at it. That's a first try. I'll take that. Cool. I knew I had to use modules. I wasn't sure how to set it up. That's good. That's good. Like if you're noticing these chunks, right? Like if you looked at this and you said, all right, I need some sort of way of looping. That's huge. If you looked at this and like, all right, I need to loop. That's a big step. If you looked at this and you said, I need to check if it's even. Let me think about modulus. That's a big step, right? Like if you're starting to recognize these patterns, these pieces, that's what it's about, folks. So even if you didn't get all the way to the end, but you're able to notice, all right, I need to pass in an array, so that's how I'm going to set it up. I know if it wants a new array, maybe I should create an array, right? Like if I need a loop, maybe I could use a for each, maybe I could use a for loop. If I need to check something, maybe I can use modulus. Like those are steps. Like if you're starting to see that, if that internal monologue is there, you're starting to recognize the patterns. That's what we're here, folks. That's what we're here for. You want to start to be able to recognize those patterns. And when you recognize those patterns, the world opens up. And that's why the Anki is so important, right? That's why the Anki is so important. Because if tonight you recognized a new pattern or you learned a new pattern, put that into your Anki. So next week when we're in class, you'll be like, aha, I remembered that pattern because it was in my Anki. It's part of my spaced repetition, right? So that's what we're here for. We're trying to recognize these patterns. And if you're starting to see them, you're going the right way. If you're not, it's all right. We got plenty of time to get there. But that's what I want you to do. I want you to be able to, even if the problem is hard, think through the different patterns that you might be putting at play here. Better recognize. There you go. Brian, I see what you did wrong. That's awesome. That's good. It makes sense. It just scares me writing it from scratch. Yeah, that's a hard part to get over. Though we just keep repeating. When I first started out, anything that was tricky for me that I didn't really understand, I hate to admit this, but I would print out my code. Like I printed out so much code. I killed so many trees back in the day because I would print them out and I would sit here and I'd do exactly what I do with y'all. Where I'm like, all right, well, this gets passed into here. I'd go like Madden on this thing, like John Madden, like passed away. And like this is what my printed out piece of paper used to look like at the end, right? Because I was just trying to make all those connections, trying to see the patterns. And for me, sometimes getting physical with it, like printing out the paper and like drawing and circling, that made more sense. So, yeah. I just hated all the trees that I killed. That's the only thing I hate. Yeah. But I printed out a lot of code. I still print out some code every once in a while when I'm really stuck. But fortunate that I have this thingy over here now. Yeah, thank God for the stylus, right? They grow back. All right, let's break this down again. I know this is a tricky one, so let's step through it one more time, and then we'll be getting close to the end of stream. So stick with me through this one difficult piece, and then I'm going to introduce kind of what we'll be doing over the weekend, and then we'll take a break. So we're actually going to wrap up a little bit early today. So because we introduced a lot of new stuff, and I want you to take some time. I don't want you to stop. I want you to kind of do the work I'm going to ask you to do. So we're going to end a little bit early, but you got some work to do. All right. Diego, thank you for the hydration. Cheers to you. All right. Gotta do laundry when I'm ready to pass out. All right, we're gonna end early for you, Port. All right, here we go. We created a function. That function takes in an array. Since I know that I want to return a new array, I create a new array. It's just my new array there. New array, using literal notation, new array. And then I take that old array and I loop through it. We kind of seen two ways to loop through arrays. We have seen a for each to loop through an array, and we have seen a for loop. I chose for each just to show you the newer syntax that we've seen a few times. What for each is going to do is going to run once for each element in the array. Since there are 5 elements in the array that I passed in, for each is going to run 5 times. Each time it runs, it's going to pop off the element. So the first time it runs, pops off 1, then it pops off 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and it passes them into this for each function. So item right here is going to be the 1, then it's going to be the 2, then it's going to be the 3, then it's going to be the 4, then it's going to be the 5. So what I'm checking then is I'm saying, all right, is 1 divisible by 2? No. Is 2 divisible by 2? Yes. So since 2 is divisible by 2, we take 2 and push it into the new array. Then we check 3. 3 doesn't do it. 4 does. So we push 4 into the new array. And then 5 doesn't. So our new array only has 2 and 4 in it. We return it. And so we return a new array that has 2 and 4 inside of it. Okay. I know this is a hard one. This is a weird one to see. This is a hard one to see. So we're gonna leave that here for now. When we come back to office hours on Saturday, we're gonna do this one again. So this one's tripping you up. Things aren't making sense. We're gonna break it down. We're gonna do it with a for loop. We're gonna do it with a map. We're gonna see it in different ways and shapes and forms. So if you're getting stuck on this one, don't worry. Come to office hours or watch office hours, and we're gonna cover this one in detail again. Okay. Office hours this Saturday, we're going to do way more like code and practice. We're going to get some questions as always, but we're going to do more practice, more review. So if things this week were a little tough, the arrays were kind of minding your brain a little bit, come to office hours. We'll make it make sense. All right. Let's go back to the slides real quick. I know some folks are having some trouble with the slides, but I want to talk through a quick few things, and then we're going to actually end a little early tonight. So I want to move into objects. Next class, we're going to talk all about objects. So what I need you to do between now and next class, right? Between now and next class, I need you to go ahead and read through these slides. I'll put the PDF. I'll put the PDF in chat as well. I'll put the PDF in our Discord. I'll put the PDF in Discord. But I need you to go through these slides. I need you to, if things don't make sense, to kind of do some research, figure out what they are, what I'm talking about. Look at the problems. You don't have to do the problems, but look at the problems. Start to digest how you might go about solving them, right? And then when we come in on Tuesday and we're working through objects, it shouldn't be the first time that you've seen all this stuff, okay? If you're coming back and we're working through these, it shouldn't be the first time that you've seen this stuff, okay? So you're going to read through the objects. You're gonna look through the practice problems. Then you have some other homework. Homework's gonna start to increase a little bit. If you're behind, that's okay. You're gonna get caught up. You have a little bit more homework. I'm gonna ask you to read. JavaScript.info, the array methods. You're gonna see a lot of the ones we covered tonight, but there are some even more ones. You're gonna, any of the methods that you don't feel comfortable with, like if JavaScript.info doesn't answer all your questions about arrays, that's okay. Do research. Go to the MDN. Look at some YouTube videos. Ask your fellow 100 Devs members in Discord, what resources did you use to learn about that one method? Then I want you to get done the JavaScript 30 day 4 cardio. So Wes Boss's JS 30 day 4 is all about arrays. I want you to work through that. Okay. So you are going to read through the slides. You are going to practice some problems. You're then going to read about array methods. You're going to practice them. And you're going to show up to office hours so we can make arrays make more sense. Okay? Don't worry about day 3. I just want you to focus on day 4. Okay? As always, homework is always due a week later. So I'm going to ask you for the cardio solutions next Thursday. Get them done as early as you can, though, because we got a lot of other work to get to next week. On Saturday, come with questions. We're going to answer all your questions about arrays. Come to look at some code. Come to look at some solutions. As always, it's been wonderful having you tonight. Thank you for all the love earlier tonight. We're going to end with a raid. As always, some love, some positivity. Please give them some follows. Hang out and chat for a little bit. And then everything will be, all the solutions we did tonight will be on Discord. So let me go ahead and set up this raid real quick. And we're going to take it from there. All right. 1 second. Thank you all for being here. Hang around for the raid. You get those extra channel points. You're one step closer to our OnlyFans content. All right, we have somebody that's actually working with some arrays that Alyssa mentioned. So let's go ahead and give them a raid. See you all over there. We're raiding in 9 seconds, folks. Have a good night. Happy birthday again. See you all on Saturday. Let's raid.